New developments in the search for Brian Laundrie. The Parkland shooter pleads guilty, and Oklahoma has broken the record for tornadoes in October. This is OU Nightly. Hello, thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Mecca Thompson.
And I'm Katie Arata. Tonight we begin with breaking news in the search for Brian Laundrie. The Sarasota County medical examiner and a cadaver dog were called earlier today to a Florida park, where authorities found several items belonging to Brian Laundrie, the missing fiance of Gabby Petito. FBI Tampa confirmed in a tweet that items of interest were found at the Carlton Reserve. These items include a backpack. An FBI evidence response team is currently processing the scene. Authorities have been searching for Laundrie in connection with the Petito homicide case for over a month.
The gunman behind the deadliest high school shooting in U.S. history spoke in a Florida courtroom today. Nicholas Cruz changed his plea to guilty to all 34 charges stemming from the 2018 mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. He killed 17 total, both students and faculty members. Cruz pleaded guilty to 17 counts of first-degree murder and 17 counts of attempted first-degree murder for the 17 injured in the shooting. The trial now moves to the penalty phase. Prosecutors say they intend to pursue the death penalty against Cruz. And just a few weeks ago, we were talking about the gorgeous fall weather, but the inner Houstonian in me is freezing every day with these lower temperatures.
Right, me too. I'm not a fan. It seems like the fall season could quickly turn into an eerily winter. Catherine Liberta joins us live from the Gaylord College balcony.
Yeah, while we do have some cooler temperatures, we don't have winter weather just yet, but we did see a cold front move through earlier today. And as we look at our current temperatures across the state, we are seeing temperatures in the 70s. So it is a gorgeous day. It's beautiful outside and it's feeling very comfortable. But if we look at the southern part of the state, we can see temperatures in the 80s still, and that is because they haven't seen that cold front move through yet. But if we look at our winds, we can see exactly where that cold front is. We've got winds that are switching direction, and that's where that cold front is sitting. And we've got winds coming from the north, keeping us fairly cool. And we're going to have those winds continue to come from the north tomorrow. So we're going to have temperatures feeling very similar to what they were today. But then as we move into the weekend, we're going to have those winds switch directions again. And we're going to have those winds coming up from the south, bringing warmer air. And we could potentially see temperatures in the 80s this weekend and into next week. You're going to want to stick around, though, because Colton Williams has some interesting facts about the severe weather we saw earlier this month, and he's got a first look at your game day forecast, whether you're staying in Norman or you're heading to Kansas. Ladies.
The Oklahoma State Department of Health reports just under 900 new cases of COVID-19 today. This brings the active caseload to more than 7,000. The CDC says just over 11,000 people have died from the virus. Overall, nearly half the state has been fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
Children ages 5 to 11 may be allowed to get the COVID-19 vaccination soon. Will Blessing has that story and the rest of today's headlines from around the world.
Thanks, Mecca. New developments in vaccination as FDA vaccine advisors are scheduled to meet next week to consider authorizing the COVID vaccine for children ages 5 to 11. In case the FDA authorizes a vaccine, the White House is preparing. The Biden administration said they have enough vaccine supply to be able to vaccinate 28 million children between the ages of 5 and 11. Vaccines will be offered to kids at school and other community-based sites. Health officials say that vaccinating children will play a major role in ending the pandemic. New data from the CDC shows that those who have not gotten the COVID-19 vaccine have increasingly high risks of hospitalization. In a White House briefing earlier today, it was said that those without the vaccine are more than 18 times more likely to be hospitalized. It was also shown that unvaccinated people are 6 times more likely to contract COVID-19 and 11 times more likely to die from it. These numbers come from data collected from several parts of the country throughout the month of August. And an investigation is underway into a plane that caught fire in Texas yesterday. The National Transportation Safety Board is conducting the investigation. The fire happened in Waller County, Texas Tuesday. The FAA says that the plane actually never left the ground, that it rolled through a fence before catching fire in a field. The plane was carrying 21 people on their way to Boston to watch the series between the Boston Red Sox and the Houston Astros. All 21 passengers got off safely. The cause of the fire is still unknown. In Katy, Mecca, hundreds of Netflix employees are staging a walkout today in protest of the company's response to a controversial Dave Chappelle comedy special. The protesters are expected to provide Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos with a list of requests. Back to you.
Thanks, Will. The Norman Police Department has used body cameras since May of 2017. Other police departments like the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office now increased their transparency by getting new high-tech body cameras. OU Nightly's Elise Jones has more.
In any particular situation.
Deputy Kelsey Frazier drives the streets of Oklahoma City every day and now has a new routine when interacting with the public.
The way I think about it, if I'm getting ready to get out of my car and make contact with the public, then I'm just going to start recording regardless of what the incident is.
Anytime a body camera is turned on, supervisors are notified and can live stream the footage. If the camera is not turned on and a weapon is drawn,
I just activated both Captain Ty and my cameras. It's now flashing red.
the camera automatically records.
Transparency purposes, for evidence purposes, you know, when we get out on a scene and things are very active, we have the video to fall back on.
The agency spent just over $70,000 on 40 cameras, but Deputy Frazier and others alike believe it's worth it to protect others and themselves.
Me personally, I enjoy them. We've had dash cams in the past. I've always liked them. Reason why is because, you know, it protects both sides.
Other police departments across the state are working on getting this technology, but because of how often the county sheriff's office interacts with the public, their access was prioritized. Coming up, new details about President Biden's spending plan. Find out how this could impact the climate.
Plus, find out what could cut greenhouse emissions by half in 2030. We have the latest on a new invention designed to do just that.
Coming up in today's Earth Report, Shannon Ehrhardt discusses President Biden's economic package for climate change, in which senator is not on board. Shannon?
Urgency for compromise on President Biden's massive social spending plan. This goes hand in hand with the infrastructure plan Democrats want to finalize by the end of the month. But debate over climate change has not been settled. Progressives want to go much further, but Democratic Senator of West Virginia Joe Manchin disagrees with those plans. Manchin said he would oppose forcing utilities to use cleaner burning fuels to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, though climate change has become a growing threat to West Virginians. And now the Clean Energy Program, along with clean energy tax credits, would cut greenhouse gas emissions up to 52% by 2030. But Manchin's spokeswoman says he is concerned about using taxpayer dollars to pay private companies to do the things they're already doing. Instead of the Clean Energy Program, senators explore demanding a fee on carbon. Another option is boosting the amount of money in a clean energy tax credit package. Democrats hope to pass both bills by October 31st and post a victory before Election Day on November 2nd. And there's so much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere that there are now machines to literally suck the gas back in. This invention, called the Orca plan, is an attempt to slow climate change. The goal of the Orca is to remove as much greenhouse gas from the atmosphere as it releases. The machines use chemical filters to capture the heat-trapping gas, and the fans suck in the surrounding air and filter out the CO2 so it can be stored later. Orca opened up last month and removes 10 metric tons every day, about the same amount emitted by 800 cars every single day. Now the U.S. needs to take a hint from Switzerland and Iceland because, you guys, those vacuums seem pretty cool.
Yes, they do, Shannon. Such a cool invention. And when we come back, we'll have a first look at a new mini golf course here in Norman.
Plus, I heard Oklahoma has broken a record regarding the weather. Colton, is this true?
Yeah, we're going to be talking all about that record and our wild fall storm season we've just had, as well as we're going to break down your 7-day. All that coming up and more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Nightly, thanks for joining us. I'm Colton Williams. Check this out. Our wild fall storm season took full effect here in Oklahoma. We have broken a new record now for the most tornadoes in the month of October. The previous record, 27, set back October 4th, 1998. We have broken that now over the last few days here. 28 is our new record. We set that here, just like I said, over the last few days. So here's all of our confirmed tornadoes now. Check this out. I-44 got absolutely peppered with tornadoes over here. And you notice we have several that have yet to be rated. Questions. We have several tornadoes that have yet to be rated. This one here, the Frederick tornado, that's likely going to end up being a EF3 or an EF4 tornado. So still some to come for more information on that, but we certainly have broken the record. But hey, today, none of that. It's been a beautiful day out there today, live up and down Oklahoma City. It has been absolutely gorgeous. We did have a small cold front come through this morning, 5 to 6 degrees below what we were this time yesterday here in Norman, Oklahoma City. Look at the Panhandle, though, up here in Guymon. They're sitting 16 degrees below what they were this time yesterday. But across the metro, lower 70s now for us, and across the rest of the state, that's much of the same story. This cold front, you see 80s ahead of it, lower 70s behind it, upper 60 up in the Panhandle. So still a pretty gorgeous day out there today. A north breeze did set in behind it here. You see winds out of the north. You can see the cold front here, though. That's where it's set up, and it's going to continue to move through overnight tonight. Maybe put a couple showers down in the southeastern part of the state, but for the rest of us, it's clearing out all of our cloud cover here. You notice this big old upper level system here. This is what's causing this cold front to push through. The jet stream wants nothing to do with Oklahoma today. We're going to have clear skies as we go throughout tonight and tomorrow. So a warmer weekend is setting up. So now here we are sitting in late October, still talking about upper 70s, lower 80s. That continues into this weekend and into early next week. You see warmer. You know, this time last year, we're talking about our first ice storm. This week, we're talking about lower 80s. But then mid through next week, we will have another low pressure system. A pretty stout cold front will make its way through. That will finally let fall dig its heels in here in Oklahoma, which I think we're all just about ready for. So a small rain chance, a lone rain chance comes Friday, mostly for southeastern Oklahoma. Us here in the central part of the state, we're not going to be looking at a substantial rain chance. So lows tonight statewide, lower middle to upper 40s here, 48 here in Norman, 47 in Oklahoma City. Guymon, they did dip down just below freezing at one point today, but lows tonight, they'll stick in the lower 40s, and then highs tomorrow, much of the same story, lower 70s for most of us, upper to middle 70s for southern, southwestern Oklahoma. That's going to be much of the same story. So if you're ready for the fall foliage, here it comes. Now we are just near our peak here. Give us 1 or 2 more weeks here. We're sitting in the middle to late part of November before we'll be in our peak for fall colors. And then if you're getting up to Lawrence this weekend, get ready because it's going to be cool. You might want to take your jacket. Even a small chance of rain sitting there as well. So upper 70s as we go into this weekend, lower 80s into Saturday and Sunday. Again, that big cold front will come through late Tuesday, early Wednesday. Ladies, back to you.
And since the temperatures are cooler, if you are looking to play mini golf, Main Street in Norman has just the place. The ribbon was cut today on a new mini golf course right in the heart of Norman. The new course is located between Gabriel Bird Dentistry and Recess Taco Park. It is free to play, but donations to local nonprofits are encouraged.
That sounds so cool. I honestly don't remember the last time I went mini golfing, so I think I'm going to take advantage of the game being away this weekend and go check it out, especially with those nice temperatures that Colton was mentioning.
I know, right? And I actually live near the course that used to host the Shell Houston Open, so maybe that'll give me some good luck. Who knows? But
sure.
Overall, great addition to Main Street.
Yes, I can't wait to check it out. The Sooners will be away in action this Saturday as they take on the Kansas Jayhawks. So how are the Sooners looking before Saturday?
Well, the Sooners are looking for a little easier matchup this weekend on the road in Lawrence. Plus, the NBA season tipped off last night with 2 potential conference finals matchups. We have the results when OU Nightly returns. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Saul Meyer. Let's talk about some sports. Sooners are traveling to Lawrence this weekend to take on the Kansas Jayhawks in an early matchup at 11 a.m. this Saturday. The last time OU played Kansas in Lawrence, the Jayhawks were the ones who struck first, giving them hope early on. Well, that hope lasted all of about 90 seconds when Jalen and the boys responded with 42 unanswered points, paving the way for a 45-20 win for the Sooners. Big 12 basketball media days wrapped up today. OU Nightly's Dylan Rivera and Tyler DeLuca were on hand and caught up with the Sooners, who made the trip to Kansas City.
Hey guys, Tyler DeLuca, Dylan Rivera here at Big 12 basketball media days. A lot of overturn with this men's team. 9 new guys on the roster.
Yeah, we were able to talk with both Jordan Goldwire and Elijah Harkless today to kind of get an idea of how the team is meshing.
I feel like the chemistry is there. Like you said, we got a bunch of new guys, but I think one thing that helps is everybody that transferred kind of has experience playing the college basketball somewhere. So I think the chemistry on the court has been good, and even off the court as well. So I think everybody gets along, and everybody enjoys playing with each other. So I think that's going to help us.
I think this is the most together team I've been a part of, really. And once you have that, great trait, the sky's the limit. And I think Coach Moses does an amazing job of teaching, chemistry-wise.
And yesterday we had the chance to talk to the women's team and Coach Jenny Baranczyk.
It's not Coach Jenny. It's just Jenny.
Just Jenny.
It's just Jenny.
Just Jenny. And today we were able to talk to Porter Moser about some of the parallels of the 2 new coaches' situations.
Yeah, absolutely. You're bouncing off things off each other, like what she's going through, learning the place, what I'm going through, different things that we're trying to do to improve our programs, and the recruiting stuff.
Well, that's a wrap on Big 12 basketball media days. For Tyler DeLuca, I'm Dylan Rivera. Back to you guys in the studio.
Former Sooner quarterback Baker Mayfield has officially been ruled out for this Thursday's game against the Denver Broncos. The Browns starter suffered a torn labrum on his non-throwing shoulder back in September, but decided to play through it. He re-aggravated that injury in last week's matchup against the Cardinals and will be replaced by backup Case Keenum for Thursday's game. The Dodgers found themselves on the cusp of a 3-0 series deficit when they were down 5-2 at the bottom of the 8th inning. Cody Bellinger said not so fast as he blasted a 3-run homer in the 8th to tie it up, setting up the Mookie Betts go-ahead double to give them the win 6-5. Moving over to the ALCS, the Houston Astros needed a big win to tie up their series with the Boston Red Sox. They were tied up going into the 9th inning before the Stros tallied 7 runs to give them the 9-2 win. A potential Eastern Conference Finals matchup happened last night when the Brooklyn Nets took on the Milwaukee Bucks in a playoff rematch from last year. Giannis and the defending NBA champs haven't lost a step as he dropped 32 points in the season opener to give the Bucks the win. Heading out to Hollywood for the other NBA game that happened last night, Steph Curry dropped a triple-double to help the Warriors beat LeBron and the Lakers. The Thunder kick off their season tonight in Utah. Tip-offs at 8 p.m. I'll be watching that game tonight. Ladies, what about you?
Yes, Saul, I'll have to take a look at how the Thunder performs tonight.
Now there's only 11 days until Halloween. Find out where to find some pumpkins in Norman when we return.
I'm Dana Searles at the OU Nightly Update Desk. U.S. regulators just signed off on extending COVID-19 boosters to Americans who got the Moderna or Johnson & Johnson vaccine. They announced that anyone eligible for an extra dose can get a brand different from the one they initially received. This decision made by the FDA marks a big step toward expanding the U.S. booster campaign. Back to you in the studio.
Halloween is just around the corner, and it is the perfect time to pick up pumpkins to welcome all the trick-or-treaters next weekend. McFarland Pumpkin Patch sits on the corner of University and Apache and is operated by the Methodist Church just across the street. The plan is to create scholarship funds from sales for the summer music camp. The pumpkin patch is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to dusk, and Sundays, 1 p.m. to dusk. They'll be selling pumpkins up until Halloween or earlier if they sell out.
Yeah, I may have to stop by and pick up some more pumpkins to carve before it's too late. I actually took a trip down to Sooner Bloomers last weekend, and they had a great selection. I picked up some mini ones kind of for decor, so I might have to go back and get some larger ones to carve.
Yes, me too. I definitely want to check out the pumpkin patch this weekend. And the Sooners play KU in Lawrence on Saturday. Colton, are we going to be feeling the fall temperatures at kickoff?
Hey, I would say for those of us who are not a fan of the warm temperatures, just remember, like I said earlier, this time last year we're talking about our first ice storm. So definitely a healthy medium going on here. But hey, if you're headed up to Lawrence now, you're getting out there to tailgate, definitely take the jacket with you. Cloud cover is going to build throughout the day. The winds will be out of the east. They'll be upper 50s by kickoff, halftime in the lower 60s. So going to be a cooler one than we might be used to. But here in Norman, if you're staying here to watch the game, it'll be beautiful to watch maybe out on the patio or to get out after the game. 80s return next week. Ladies, back to you.
Well, hopefully the Sooners can take home another win this weekend.
Yes, indeed. I can't wait to see the outcome because if they do, it will be the first time since 2004 that the Sooners have had an 8-0 start. Talk about some Sooner magic.
I know, I can't wait to see the outcome.
Well, that is all the time we have for this evening. Make sure to follow OU Nightly on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and tune in weekdays at 4:30. Good night.